Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching this video from. You are listening to Leon Tepo Mashalani, back again with the fourth episode. And today I actually took a bit of a detour. I know that I said I'm gonna do and deal with market structure this week, but before I decided to do that, I had to just first correct something, right? I changed the episode that we're supposed to have on market structure, and to first actually interpret price through candlesticks, right? Because I understand that a lot of people may have knowledge on candlesticks, but when it comes to price interpretation, now we are talking about something completely different, right? So I need you guys to pay close attention to what we're going to be talking about on today's episode, because it's very crucial that you get this first part right before we get into anything. Now, to some of you, actually, this is something that's gonna be failing you, and to those who have a bit of experience when it comes to trading, please keep an open mind, because you might actually learn something new on this particular lesson. So this is not your average candlestick formation, right? So today we're gonna enter a bit deeper into how you need to be looking at your candlesticks instead of just looking at them as just, how we all normally look at them, right? So candlesticks are basically there to help you understand what's happening with price, right? And once you are able to interpret price through candlestick formation, it's gonna give you a fair edge over the market, especially when we're gonna start to integrate it with market structure, right? So I had to make sure that everything is connected properly, all the dots align perfectly. Okay, so as usual, please be sure that you check out Radel. This is the recommendation of the week, until I find someone else to recommend. But so far, Radel Flex is the guy to go to when you are someone who wants to understand what's happening in the industry, who are the scammers, who are the real guys, and all that. You'll find everything you need on this YouTube channel. Be sure that you subscribe to his YouTube channel, because he is doing fantastic and amazing work, and he deserves all the credit and all the support that we can give him. So be sure that you subscribe to his YouTube channel. I do not know Radel in any way personally. I just think that he is just doing an amazing job, and he needs the support from us as traders, you know what I mean? So be sure that you subscribe to the brother's YouTube channel and actually go through his content, and you'll be shocked on what's actually happening behind the scenes in this industry, especially pertaining to so-called mentors. So Radel is actually the guy to go to, especially in South Africa. I don't know anyone else who does what he does, but he does a fairly good job in exposing scammers. So be sure that you check him out. So before we get into anything, remember that everything that is shared on this YouTube channel is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice by anyone or any institution under any circumstance at any given point in time. Now, before we get into anything, right, let's just talk about the basic, information that we all have when it comes to candlesticks, right? We all know the famous law of forex trading, where you buy low and you sell high, right? And this is the one rule that if you keep in mind, you will be profitable. I'm not going to say that you're not going to lose trades. Everybody loses trades. I lose trades. Everybody basically loses trades at one point in time. But the whole idea is for you not to lose more than you win, okay? So this is the traditional way of looking at candlesticks, and we're just going to go briefly through it for people who may not necessarily be in the light with how to actually interpret candlesticks. Now we have a bullish candlestick, the green one on your left side of the screen. that's the bullish one, that's the uptrend candlestick versus your downtrend candlesticks. Now I'm going to show you the difference between the two, and then we move to the main dish of the day. Okay, so the open of the candlestick happens, lower, right? It happens lower, and then normally it'll form your low, and then it forms the high, and then the candlestick will close, right? So contrary and opposite to that, we have the bearish candlestick. Okay, and this candlestick is quite different from the bullish candlestick, because this particular candlestick does not open lower but opens higher, right? And normally what happens, it'll form a high and then a low, and then a close, right? And this is a bearish candlestick, in other words, a downtrend candlestick. Right, now this is the traditional way of looking about it, and if you are a trader, this is information that has to be in your head. We cannot be beating about the bush when it comes to that, but but hence I said it's very crucial information for you to understand. Now, before we get into anything, let me show you how you can have high probability setups in the market, and how you can actually have a better risk to reward than normal traders. Okay, so when you have now identified that maybe, let's say, price is now moving to the upside, of course we have a bullish candlestick, the trick is to buy as close as you can to the open and exit as close as you can to the close of the candlestick or the high of the candlestick, right? So the trick is to have your positions either somewhere between the open and the low, or relatively a bit higher than that, but it has to be around that area, right? It has to be around this area for you to have a high probability trade setup and a good and fantastic risk to reward ratio, right? You want to buy as close to the open and the low as possible. This is where you want to have your trades, preferably as close as you can to the low. But that's something a bit advanced. That's not something we want to dwell with right now, but the whole idea is to have your trades as close as possible as you can to the open, right? And your exit as close as you can to the high, between the high and the close, right? Same thing with your bearish candlestick. You'd want to have your opens. Remember, we buy low when market is moving high, we sell high when market is down on the downtrend, right? In other words, you sell high. Okay, I'm not going to delve into that now because it's not the main focus for today, right? So when you're selling, you really want to be somewhere here. Your positions have to be somewhere here, or as close as you can to the open. And then when you close, same thing, you want your trades to be close as possible to the low, or in between the low and the close, or somewhere around there. Why? For a fantastic risk to reward ratio, right? That's as simple as I can put it, right? And I'm going to show you this on the charts. Okay, now let me show you something very important. Now this is a monthly time frame, right? And this is a monthly candlestick, right? And it has its open, it has its low, it has its high, it has its close, right? But the main focus today will be looking at what is happening to price around when candlesticks open and close. So the main focus for today will be studying what happens to price when it opens and when it closes, and how can you get your trades to be as close as possible to the low or the open. Okay, now hence I said keep an open mind so that you can take advantage of the information being provided to you. Okay, so now that we have highlighted the open and the close of the monthly time frame, now when you are making this kind of analysis, you want to make sure that when you highlight the candlestick part of the analysis, you make sure that it's always on a higher time frame. Okay, hence what you're seeing currently. Yeah, so that by the time we then now move to a lower time frame, this is the 4-hour time frame, still the same chart, but now at a different perspective. Right, the open of the candlestick happened here. All right, and the question can now become that, Leon, you said that our trades have to be as close as possible to the open as we can, right? How do we go about doing that? How do we know that, okay, price is gonna move up or down? Because normally people just think candlesticks randomly form, and that's the biggest lie that is currently floating. They don't randomly form. Okay, remember what I talked about? I said today I'm just gonna highlight the open and the close, right? But here's the low of the candlestick and here's the high of the candlestick. But I want to make sure that I make you understand, I help you understand in terms of what needs to happen for you to be able to know how to execute those trades. Okay, so now that we are on a 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see that, okay, price opened, created some sort of accumulation. Remember what I said on TikTok, what an accumulation is. An accumulation is manipulation of the lows and a break of structure to the upside. That's what an accumulation is. Okay, what does that mean? That now becomes the question. It means that every single time price creates a low, it's going to be manipulated, it's going to be traded over. Hence what we are seeing currently. All these lows here have been taken out by this low, and this low was manipulated again by this low, you see, and a break of structure to the upside. So every single time we have to look at these things, right? You have identified, okay, I'm on a bull trend, what must I do? Okay, identify my open. After price opens, every single time after, key word, after price opens a new candlestick, what follows after is normally what you'd see as the manipulation phase. So price will open and then start to manipulate, trap traders in trades, take them out, then make the actual move. Okay, so price doesn't randomly move. It opens, creates a wick. Every single time you see a wick, just know that price is being manipulated. Not price, pardon me. Traders are being manipulated into trades that they are not supposed to be entering into. So price will open, the wick or the shadow of the candlestick. That's where the manipulation of traders is currently happening. Okay, and even with all this information, you cannot just jump into making a conclusion of what needs to happen. We still need more information, and looking at this is not enough information for you at the current level that you're in for you to understand that, okay, I need to go long. For me, I can clearly see multiple entry points. For an instance, after this manipulation and the grab on liquidity, we saw a break in market structure, a harsh break in market structure, and here's a fair value gap that has formed there. The first one was this, but it was never mitigated. But the second one was this fair value gap, And in this fair value gap, that's where we had a pullback, a trade into that fair value gap, where we can execute long position with our stop losses there and targeting the previous month's high. I'm sure that's very clear, right? But how do you go about this if this is new information to you? Now, the whole trick is to dial down your time frames as many times as you can until everything makes sense to you. Remember, everything has to make sense. If it's not making sense, it's a low probability setup. If you are unable to interpret what is happening with price on your charts, that means that whatever setup that you're looking at is low probability. If you cannot put a trade in words, it's low probability. Because what happens if the setup goes against you? You can't explain what happened. Hence, I'm always telling people that, you know what, have a trading journal where you are documenting every single trade that you take. In other words, you are drafting down and looking at what you would normally be looking at on the charts. In other words, okay, I'm seeing a fair value gap. I highlight, okay, I saw a fair value gap near this price point. This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm hoping the outcome will be. Right? And we have to look at these things. Right? So we dial down the time frame. Now we are on the 15-minute time frame. We still have that open, the manipulation phase, and the break of structure to the upside. Right? Now, question then now becomes, okay, how will I know that price is now ready to move to the upside? Right? Look, it's clearly simple what is currently happening right here. There's traders who are looking at this trend line as a high probability sell setup. There are traders that are looking at this entire area as a high probability buy setup, right? Oh, my phone is ringing. Pardon me, I'm back. Okay, as I was saying, remember, manipulation of the lows and a break of structure to the upside. So we saw the manipulation of lows, these lows, through this move, right? Manipulation of the lows, another manipulation happened here, and a break of structure to the upside. Where do we see that break in market structure? Right? Every single thing has to have a reason, right? Same time frame. We are still on the same time frame, just zoomed in, right? We can see this lower high right here. Price traded lower, but came back to break it right here. And the moment we saw this, we know there's going to be a shift in market structure. There's going to be a shift in the trend. This was the first valid sign that price is going to break. A shallow break, I always say this, a shallow break will lead to a deep retracement. Now, knowing this, we need to now identify an area of entrance where we can now highlight, okay, this is a point of interest. In this instance, we have what we call a fair value gap. And through that fair value gap, we see what? The end of the manipulation. Now price is gonna steadily move to the upside. What did we look for? A shift, a change of character, violating relevant structural points, trading back into price inefficiency, stop loss below, TP, previous month's high, because the entire analysis was made from and on a monthly candlestick. Okay, so if anything is unclear at the moment, don't worry, we're gonna have a live session on this, so be sure that you join the live session. If you want to be added, if you're not already in the Telegram group, just comment on the video that you want to be part of it. And if you are not already subscribed, please give your boy support. Just subscribe to the channel. Let's grow our community. Like the video, share, and comment, and let me know what you think, just to keep me motivated in making the videos. Okay, now these are the targets I was talking about, right? Structural points, previous month's high and the month before that's high, right? Those were the targets. Where was our entry? Our entry was somewhere here, stop loss right there, TP right there, or here. But to be safe, always have your partials taken on the first high that you encounter, right? So I want to be as brief as possible because I don't want to put too much information on this to a point whereby it becomes, senseless. I want it to just be straight to the point so that you can learn. Make the videos as short as possible so that you can be able to absorb what we are, whatever we're looking at. Okay? Now, on the next episode, it will be an upload of the current this live session, because on the live session I'm going to be talking about what we currently just talked about here on YouTube, and we're going to be giving it a bit more meat, just give it more depth and have your questions answered, explanations and all of that. So be sure that if you are not on the live session, just request to be added and the rest will be history. And guys, listen, my followers on TikTok, this one is for you guys. You guys have been awesome. You are fantastic. Love y'all so much, but you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. You're making this thing so difficult. Guys, the content is free, the mentorship is free, everything is free. Okay, now the least that you can do is just do what I say. If I say to you, here's my phone number, text me on Telegram so that I can add you on the group, it's because I found that process to be easy. Don't make the job difficult for me. That's all I'm begging for. Don't make it difficult. You're gonna want this, you're gonna want that. Just text me, I'll add you on the group. It's very simple. The reason why I'm doing it like that is because when I send the link through TikTok's inboxes, the link is not clickable. So the best solution that I found was that, okay, send me a text on Telegram, I'll send you the link through Telegram. It's very simple. So please guys, it's just a simple request. I mean, I'm going all out here. I'm going all out here. So the little that you can do for me is just make every process easy. Okay, I love you guys so much. Till we meet again on the live session, you guys have been fantastic. Peace out.